What's up, everybody? Awkward Anxious Jennifer here, and I already just recorded another video about Merry Christmas, which maybe you've seen, maybe you haven't, but it just now occurred to me that usually I match my hair to my outfit, and the reason I have blue hair and a green shirt is because these are my pajamas. I just was inspired first thing this morning to record some videos, so I'm in my pajamas, whatever. Anyway, the other day, I was talking to a new friend I had made about a little bit more about my journey the last few years, which I think I touched on in a previous video, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth into how I went from spending most of my 20s and the first part of my 30s just mostly really depressed with a few hypomanic episodes in between, with no hope for my future. I was a dog groomer. Let me say that again clearly. Dog groomer for more than 12 years. And I enjoyed it sometimes. It was never my passion. And it's so hard on your body. It's almost impossible to groom into your retirement years. And I've never been really good with money, so retirement I always saw as kind of a joke anyway. So I didn't see any way out of dog grooming because it pays really good money for not having a college degree, and I couldn't afford to do anything else, or so I thought. And I just figured I would have to groom until my body fell apart, and then I would be screwed and probably homeless, and I don't know, maybe kill myself at the age of 55 or 60. I just didn't see a way for that to change. Until a few years ago, I started to get more serious about my writing. I've always loved to write. I've always wanted to be a writer. And one of the reasons I was so depressed is because I figured that's not something I could make a living with, so what's the point even? So once I started to become more serious about my writing, I started to get less depressed. So in November of every year, there's something called NaNoWriMo, which is short for National Novel Writing Month. And on November 1st, every year, people from all around the world sit down to start writing a brand new novel and aim to write 50,000 words, which is the length of a short novel, by the end of the month. So in 2015, I did that. I wrote a 66,000 word romance novel in just 22 days. And that did so many things for me. It proved to myself that I could finish something that I set out to accomplish and put my mind to, which had not been my experience for most of my adult life. I quit a lot. I don't have great follow-through. I don't have a lot of good focus. So to be able to prove to myself, hey, look, if I really buckle down and focus on something, I can finish something. So I also, because of that, joined a couple of different writing groups and started getting feedback on my writing. And, found out it's actually pretty good. Now, the more I learned, the more I realized, oh, this is not the way a romance novel should be done. It had lots and lots of problems as I learned more about the tropes of romance novels and what readers expect. And anyway, that rough draft of a novel will remain on a virtual shelf. I don't think it's fixable at this point. But it really got me into writing, into the writing community, and gave me hope that maybe I can do something more than just dog grooming forever. And then, so that was 3 years ago. And then about 2.5 years ago, I started really getting interested in freelance writing. How does that work? How do you get into that? What does it entail? How much does it pay? And so I hadn't applied for any jobs yet. I had been just looking into it, researching it, learning how to do it. And then September 2 years ago, so 2016, I got fired from my last grooming job. Now, the why is a whole other story, but basically, everybody around me thought that I would completely fall apart, get really depressed, not even be able to function, and who knows. But somehow I knew it was my turning point. I knew I needed to get out of grooming to really pursue writing. And I just knew that this is my turning point. This is where things turn around for me. I'm going to make this happen. So I could have gotten another grooming job. I did have an offer from somebody else, but I knew I had to get out of grooming, do something else, be the starving artist for a while or whatever. So I wound up driving for Lyft for a while, which is basically Uber's competitor. And that was okay. It paid the bills, but boy, it was so rough on my car. And by the time you factor in expenses, like you have to get extra insurance, because a lot of rideshare drivers don't even know this. As soon as you sign on to a ride-sharing app, like Lyft or Uber, to drive other people, your regular insurance stops. Now, the insurance for Uber and Lyft only kicks in if you have a passenger in your car. So if you're driving to pick somebody up and you don't have extra insurance to cover that gap and you get hit, you're out of luck. So you have to pay extra for health insurance that covers that. And obviously you want a lower deductible, because if you're driving all day long, the odds of you getting in an accident are higher. So you've got the increased insurance costs. You have to keep your car clean. So that's a car wash once a week or so, lots and lots of gas, frequent oil changes. And of course, my car has to have the synthetic oil. So I realized, boy, I'm not doing much better than a minimum wage job here after expenses. So maybe I have to do something else. And then I was in a car accident and the decision was sort of made for me. My car was still drivable for myself, but because of the damage, I couldn't drive for Uber or Lyft until the damage got fixed and all the body shops were backed up for several weeks. So that's how I wound up from right before Thanksgiving until right around Christmas 2 years ago. I worked at Walmart from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. 5 days a week, and then at Kohl's from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. 3 or 4 days a week for an entire month. And that just about killed me. All that time on my feet, especially because I'd spent several months driving all day and not on my feet. So that was tough, but I did what I had to do to pay my bills. But right before that happened, I was contacted out of the blue by the editor of a website called iheartdogs.com. This editor had seen an old blog post I had written about dog grooming 5 years before. So I used to have this blog called The Riding Groomer, and I kept it up for several years, hadn't really been active with it lately. But she saw this old blog post I'd written about grooming difficult dogs and wanted to know if I would be interested in doing a paid writing sample. Heck yeah, I'd been spending the last few months researching how to get into freelance writing, and here was this opportunity handed to me. And I grabbed that opportunity. I've spent hours and hours on that first article doing the absolute best thing I possibly could. And she loved it and started me off on 2 articles a week just about dog grooming. And I busted my butt on those articles, doing my very best. And this was right before I started working those 2 jobs. So I was working 2 jobs and writing 2 articles a week. And I did such a good job, my editor was impressed with me. So after a while, she increased me to 3 articles a week. And then I pitched her an idea that was not related to dog grooming. And that article did really well. So eventually she bumped me to 5 articles a week, and they did not have to be about dog grooming, just any dog topic. And that was at $40 an article. That really helped. So I was able to leave Kohl's and just do Walmart and a little bit of Lyft driving and the writing. And, that started to really go well. Now, at the meantime, my roommate situation got pretty rough. And so I was looking at, I have to move, I have to get out of here. But the cost of living in Denver is so high that I would have to live with roommates again. And I should backtrack and say I had managed to live alone for most of my adult life. But the rent in Denver just kept going up and up and up. And my income was not increasing at that same pace. So I had to move in with roommates. And when that situation got bad, it's like, all right, I got to move. So I had this idea. I looked at rents in Peoria, Illinois, where my parents grew up. And wow, it was so much cheaper. It's like, boy, if I can reduce my living expenses and live alone again, that would help me hopefully become a full-time writer sooner. So, boy, within the space of about 3 weeks from me having this idea, I talked to my managers at Walmart. I called Walmarts out here. I managed to transfer into a promotion from Denver to Peoria. So transferred into a promotion at Walmart with a $2 an hour raise and moved into a 2-bedroom apartment so that I could have a home office. And I was paying less for that than I was paying to live with the nightmare roommates back in Denver. And so I just kept busting my butt. My editor was so impressed with my determination to move across the country to write more sooner. She said, if you can handle it, you can write 8 articles a week. So 8 articles a week at $40 per article, that was an extra $320 a week from my writing. So I just kept busting my butt. And at the end of 2017, my editor said, all right, we're going to switch you from a per article basis to an hourly basis. And theoretically, you could work up to 40 hours a week. So, wow, here's my opportunity. I've got to jump on it. It took a couple of months to get everything sorted as far as leaving Walmart. They did this one big one-time bonus for all the employees in March. So, well, I'd be an idiot to leave before that. Free money, right? So I was still working at Walmart full-time until the beginning of March. And then I went down to part-time at Walmart and started writing full-time and taking on more clients. And people were happy with my work. I just kept putting in my full effort and getting more and more clients. And so most of this year, I've been doing just 2 half days at Walmart on the weekends and building up my writing clientele. And now here I am leaving Walmart after next weekend. And my writing is going so well that I can bill around $1,000 a week, when I have the enough work from the clients and enough focus to do the work. And it's just amazing. I was so hopeless for so many years. And it just blows my mind that I'm here. So I just wanted to tell you, have faith, have hope. I mean, even if you don't believe in a higher power, a God, whatever, just have faith that things can get better. You may never know how or when that opportunity will come. I never could have guessed that I would be contacted out of the blue with this writing opportunity. So that was a little bit of luck, but then it was a lot of hard work that got me here. So I just wanted to say, no matter how bad your situation seems, you have to hang in there. You never know when your turning point will come. So anyway, I hope that was inspirational for somebody, maybe. If you have a similar inspirational story, feel free to share it down in the comments so that other people can see, even when everything feels hopeless, you never know when your turning point will come and things will be so much better. So anyway, this is already a really long video. If you've made it this far, thank you. Feel free to comment with your experiences down below. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.